The Haunting of Blackwood Manor. The dense fog wrapped around the twisted trees of Blackwood Forest as Emma drove up the winding road. The grand yet decaying Blackwood Manor loomed ahead, its Gothic architecture silhouetted against the pale moonlight. A distant owl hooted, its cry echoing through the still night. Emma shivered, but continued forward. She had inherited the manor from her late uncle, a man she had barely known. Despite its eerie reputation, she had no choice but to stay. She had nowhere else to go. As she stepped inside, the scent of old wood and damp stone filled her nostrils. A grand chandelier, covered in cobwebs, hung from the high ceiling, barely illuminating the vast hallway. The air was heavy, as if it carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken secrets. Emma's footsteps echoed eerily as she moved deeper inside. Her first night in the manor was restless. The wind howled through broken windows, making the curtains flutter like ghostly apparitions. Somewhere in the house, floorboards creaked as if someone was walking. Emma reassured herself it was just the old wood settling, but an uneasy feeling settled in her stomach. The next morning, she explored the house. Faded portraits lined the walls, their subjects staring at her with lifeless eyes. The air in the study was thick with the scent of old books and parchment. As she ran her fingers across a mahogany desk, she noticed an old leather-bound journal with her uncle's initials embossed on the cover. Intrigued, she flipped it open. The whispers grow louder at night. They call my name. I see her. In the mirror, her hollow eyes bore into my soul. The shadows move when I am not looking. A chill ran down her spine. She flipped through the pages, finding frantic entries about a woman in white who haunted the manor. Her uncle wrote about hearing sobs in the halls and seeing glimpses of her in the mirrors. Emma swallowed hard. Could it all be true? That night, she awoke to a faint sound, soft weeping. The sound was distant yet distinct, sending chills down her spine. She grabbed a flashlight and cautiously followed the sound. As she neared the grand mirror in the hallway, the sobbing intensified. Her breath hitched as she saw movement in the reflection. A woman in a tattered white gown stood within the mirror, her face obscured by tangled black hair. Emma's heart pounded as the figure slowly lifted its head, revealing hollow, blackened eyes. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the mirror cracked violently. Emma stumbled back, a scream stuck in her throat. The next day, she frantically searched for more clues. Digging through old records in the study, she uncovered a hidden compartment in the desk. Inside, she found a yellowed newspaper article dated a century ago. It spoke of a woman named Eleanor Blackwood, who had gone missing under mysterious circumstances. The legend said she was locked away in the manor by her jealous husband, who accused her of infidelity. She died in sorrow, her spirit forever trapped. Determined to end the haunting, Emma sought help from a local historian. He revealed that Eleanor's body had never been found, and legend held that her spirit would only rest if her remains were discovered and given a proper burial. That night, armed with a shovel and unwavering resolve, Emma descended into the basement. The air was damp and suffocating, the stone walls lined with mold. She searched every inch until her foot struck something hollow. Digging frantically, she uncovered a small wooden chest. Her hands trembled as she pried it open, revealing a bundle of decayed fabric and brittle bones. At that moment, a gust of wind howled through the basement and the temperature dropped sharply. The sobbing returned, this time mixed with a sorrowful whisper. "Free me." With trembling hands, Emma carried the remains outside and buried them beneath an ancient willow tree. As the final scoop of dirt covered the bones, the wind ceased and a serene silence settled over the manor. That night, for the first time since her arrival, the house was silent. No whispers, no creaking, no sobs. Emma knew she had set Eleanor free. And yet, as she drifted into sleep, she could have sworn she heard a faint, grateful whisper.